Hey guys, this is Jimmy here. Have you ever tried to make French baguette and sourdough bread from scratch? From the very beginning where you make the sourdough starter all the way to where you bake the bread and are ready to eat it, but never kind of figured out how to do it because you had so many videos that will show you one thing, let's say how to make the sourdough starter, but they won't show you how to put it into practice, or how to do the bread, but you don't know where the sourdough starter is coming from, or how they make the sourdough starter, or how to score your dough. So I thought I'd make this absolute beginner video for someone who doesn't know anything about making French baguette and sourdough bread and would like to try it. I watched many videos, I tried many times, and I realized that a lot of videos were incomplete. Either they were too long or too short, or missed a lot of steps and points. So I tried to make this very step by step where I show you how to make the sourdough starter and why you make it and what kind of ingredients you need to use to make it and what proportions. Then the transition steps where you put the sourdough starter in the fridge for a few days, and then when you're ready to use it, you take it out, but then you create another volume of sourdough starter because what you've created might not be enough for what you want to make. Then how you make the dough for the bread. Then why it's great to put it in the fridge 24 hours before you bake it. Then when you're ready to bake it, how you shape your dough. Well, let's say you want to make a baguette or you want to make a round sourdough bread, and how to score both the baguette and the sourdough bread, and then put it in the oven and bake it. I will also show you what are the best tools you could use to make the best bread, because it's not just about putting it in the oven, but there are some secret techniques you can use, like using a baking stone, or putting water in the oven to create steam, or using a paintbrush on your dough when you're about to put it in the oven so that the skin doesn't get burned and the bread have a proper time to grow and to really release its full potential, if I can say that. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. We have a lot of great videos. We have a great Pinterest account. All the details are on the description below. So you can see tons and tons of videos from French recipes, especially Chinese recipes, and all kind of sweet and sour type of recipes. So there are lots of great stuff you can learn from us. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Hey guys, this is Easy Chinese. Today we're going to make French baguette and sourdough bread. For that, you will need 600 grams of natural liquid sourdough, 1.5 kg of flour, 27 grams of salt, and 840 grams of room temperature water. In my other video, I explained how you make the sourdough starter. So basically, you make the sourdough starter using a starter that you already previously made and store in the fridge, but then as well, you create a mix of flour and water which you mix with your original sourdough starter to make the volume that you need. And you leave that overnight, and then you come out to this stage where we make the preparation. And then we add the flour, so basically the 1.5 kg of flour. So I like to mix T80 flour and T65 because I found it gives a very good texture. Then you pour the flour into the mix of water and sourdough. You mix everything well, but you don't overdo it. Basically what we want is hydrate the flour. And what you will see is when you let it rest after for 1 hour, it start to do the process of autolysis where it start getting and gaining in elasticity. After an hour, you're going to mix the 27 grams of salt into the dough. I like to use water to wet my hands when I manipulate the dough, and by using water, the dough doesn't stick into your hand, which is great. Basically, the process is to fold. So you fold and you turn your container to make sure that you kind of build air into the dough. And but you do not press, because if you press, you kind of let all the air go out. But you fold, and you will see by elevating and elongating your dough, it has a lot of elasticity already. So you keep folding. I do that for about, let's say 8 minutes. And then I cover and let it rest for half an hour. Half an hour later, we will do a process where we fold the dough in half and fold it again in half, and then turn it anti-clockwise and do this 2 times. You fold it in half and then in half again. You turn it anti-clockwise, then you fold it in half and half again, and then you rest it into your container, cover for half an hour, and you do the whole process again. So the whole process again is you take your dough, you fold it in half and then half again, turn anti-clockwise, then fold it in half, then half again, and then you can put it in the container and let it rest for half an hour. So after you've done that 4 times, so after number 1 you cover for half an hour, after number 2 you cover for half an hour, after number 3 you cover for half an hour, and when you finish number 4 you put it in the fridge. And I like to start doing this process in the evening. So let's say I start at 6 or 7 in the evening. By the time it's 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the evening, I finished, and the next day I start baking my bread. you.